Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I want to look a little bit at YouTube and I want to share my observations on the platform because to me, it feels like YouTube has maneuvered itself into a corner in recent years that it's going to be quite tricky to get out of again. And it kind of feels like with so many creators complaining and the platform admitting that they have many problems, that YouTube is in the early stage of the death of the platform. Now, how did that happen? Where did we come from? And what could we possibly do to resolve that issue? That's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. Now, in the very beginning, I still remember the first days when YouTube popped up and friends came to me. They're like, dude, have you heard about this platform called YouTube? You can literally spend whole nights on it and you just click from one video to another and it's just a really great platform. At that time, you have to understand the only way to consume content was like VHS cassettes, maybe DVDs and television. That's how you got content. There was no platform that kind of curates itself. And the idea that something gets successful because a lot of people click it and you see the ratings and you see the views and that's what spawns new content was a really exciting idea, right? Suddenly you have a platform that generates its own content based on what people like, unlike television, where a third party, a TV station, dictates to you what you should be watching. So really exciting. And then YouTube started to add the element that creators get paid to create content. If it's successful, you can actually make a living of it. And to watch that process was really fascinating. And it was kind of like nearly like a utopian view of looking at content where you're like, oh, look at that. We can shut down these TV stations. We don't need this anymore. People will now curate the content themselves. But now, 13 years later, YouTube has about 2.2 billion users. At least that's the number I found. And it seems to be in quite a bad place. And a lot of the problems that the platform has seems to come straight out of this original exciting idea that creators get paid and viewers decide what's successful. Let's break that down into a bit more detail. Obviously, everyone wants to make cash on the platform. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of an exception. I don't care that much. I upload a video every other week. Whenever there comes something to mind, I'll share my opinion on it. I have no ambition to make money on YouTube, really. I just want to share it, have a small community of people. But most people jump through a lot of hoops these days in order to stay relevant, in order to stay successful and not to lose their subs, because there's so much competition now. And if you want to be successful on YouTube, you nearly have to do daily uploads and you have to go through a hell of video content creation only to make a living or earn enough money, that it's worth it. So it's reached kind of truly bizarre levels. And it seems like it has come from a slightly different angle. If you remember the early days of machinima, for example, where people started to put commentary over video game gameplay, and it was new, it was fresh, exciting, it was basically comedy content, and that was enough. People watched it like crazy, they got great numbers, and as long as you did something that was a bit funny, a bit fresh, a bit innovative, that kind of was enough at the time to get people engaged. Now that has changed. You need to be controversial, you need to be out there, you really need to be nearly offensive, I want to say, in order to stay relevant. The best example is probably Logan Paul's dead body filming in Suicide Forest, which turned out to be a complete disaster, or other massively successful channels that spread obscurities like InfoWars, generally the spreading of conspiracies and false information, whether 15 minutes after a mass school shooting happens, people come out and say, oh no, they're all crisis actors and obscure stuff like that. And another example would be these dumb AI-generated videos for children, where basically AIs generate content where like popular kids characters like Spider-Man and the Frozen Princess run around and pop in and out, and it's just the dumbest content you've ever seen, but it's enough to keep kids engaged, so they create an AI that generates the content and kids keep watching it, and as a result you generate clicks, you generate money, problem solved. Or just a few days ago, I think a few weeks ago probably, 3 YouTubers died by falling down a waterfall in Canada because they want to get great footage and be the first ones to do this, and they do it for the clicks and the subs, right? And they die. They literally die because they want to be the first, they want to be the best in doing what they're doing. So it has reached really new levels of obscurity, and these kind of videos, especially this false information and conspiracy content, for many people it just has a massive impact on society. A lot of people that you meet build their opinion and thinking around those videos, and they believe it to be the ultimate truth. And the length that people are willing to go to just to stay relevant has reached a terrible level of absurdity, really. Now, the focus has shifted from quality, informative or useful content to loud, sensational, controversial content. For the most part, there are obviously always exceptions, but it does follow a rather simple formula. Let's talk a bit more about these false information videos and trace that back. I think it started to a big extent when it really got big with the early 9/11 conspiracy videos, and they suddenly started to reach a big audience, like Loose Change and stuff. Now everyone jumped on that hype train. Everyone's like, oh, conspiracy videos are big. Let's make conspiracy videos. So everyone did that, and everyone earned their clicks, right? And everyone made their money. But when all conspiracies have been talked about, people just started to make stuff up, right? And they just start spreading lies. And a whole industry at this point is built on spreading false information, right? A lot of people make a very good living by just inventing stuff and sharing it on YouTube and spreading it into society. And they are like, oh, that's great. I'm making a living off this. This is cool. But they're not considering what an impact that has on society. It leads to a large part of society believing those lies, which disrupts society. It breeds hatred. It breeds diversion, right? Where people are just spread apart in two layers, and the right side says, oh, if you don't believe this, you haven't done your homework. And the left one says, you're completely crazy for believing it. And you are disrupting society on a large scale just so you can make a living of that crap, right? So these are levels that this platform has reached that, in my opinion, are just not justified anymore. It's ridiculous. And in response to that, YouTube has become more willing to remove misinformation, or at least limit its spread. But to what extent that's really happening, we can't know, because their algorithms are hidden, and they obviously also want the clicks, right? They want people to stay on the platform because they can serve ads and they can make money like everyone else as well. So the whole platform has really just become about money and about serving ads and creating revenue and creating clicks at any cost. Now, Harvard has conducted a quite interesting study on YouTube's algorithm a while back, and I'll link the article that broke that down in the description. And they concluded in the fact that their content suggestion system was more often drawing viewers to extreme content and unfounded right-wing conspiracy theories, right? So even YouTube says, yeah, we limit the spread of this content. They actually don't, because people want to see it, because people enjoy those videos, so they do recommend them, they do push them forward to that content. Also, an interesting point, an AI software engineer that worked with YouTube in the past revealed that he was working on a system that suggested a more diverse range of videos, which resulted in viewing durations going down. So as a result, YouTube never implemented those algorithms and those pieces of the software, because they don't want viewing durations to go down. They are not willing to make that compromise of saying, look, we should stop spreading this false information. We should stop putting these kind of false ideas in people's heads. Even it costs us money, effectively, because viewing durations are going down. They are not willing to do that. It's pretty obvious. So as much as you can blame YouTube, as much you can blame the users. This highlights very much like a human problem. Users can decide by clicking or not clicking a specific video whether they want specific information about the universe or whether they want someone to reassure them that the world is flat, right? It's your decision. Whatever you click, that will be dictating what YouTube will recommend you and what video is generally recommended more on YouTube, because it becomes successful. And even if the what to watch next suggestion algorithm can take you from one video to the other, like from the conspiracy to the normal video or the regular video to the conspiracy very quickly, it's ultimately up to the user to decide what they want to watch. So at this point, it's a bigger problem. It affects Facebook, it affects Google, it affects Instagram. All these platforms that are basically dictated by user behavior have this problem, because users choose terrible content. That's kind of the insight. People want to see deceptive big sensational, horrible videos, even they're based on lies, people seem to not care. People want to watch that over, fact-based, sensible content that is based on true facts. So there is no quick fix, right? A few tweaks to the algorithm or an update to YouTube will not fix these issues, and you can't leave the responsibilities like these to an algorithm, right? YouTube and therefore Google has to acknowledge their responsibility in curating this content more, which is ironic and comes back to the point where I first started, where you have a TV station, a third party that curates the content for you. And then YouTube went all out and got now we're at a point where the full content is basically curated by people. People decide what they want, and it's failed miserably, I would say, at this point. So maybe we're at the point where YouTube has to acknowledge their role as a curator a little bit more again. They have to acknowledge their responsibility in curating the content. Otherwise, advertisers will leave. Many creators are already shifting to Twitch, and YouTube will slowly become irrelevant, and potentially there's a new platform popping up. I've been waiting for this for a while. Like, why is nobody filling that gap, right? And says, here's a new platform. We amended it slightly. We treat curators like this and that, and we pay you the same amount of money with our advertising. I mean, obviously, Google, who's the owner of YouTube, is a monster in terms of power and in terms of influence, so it's going to be hard to compete with them just by launching a new platform. But nonetheless, it feels very much like there is a gap, and someone could slip into that gap and make a lot of money by creating a new platform that treats creators a little bit better and creates a platform that is a bit more like YouTube used to be. But I'm not even sure that's still possible. I mean, look at the video I just made. Like, if people keep deciding what's on the platform, it fails. People are not capable of making the right decisions, basically, to curate a platform like this. We will always have lots of trash and shitty videos that are very successful because that's what people want to see. So guys, these are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you see any solution to this problem? If you made it to the end of this video, then thanks a lot for watching it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people watch about a third of it and they're like, it's bullshit, bro, hitting dislike and writing a quick hateful comment and leave again. People love to do this on YouTube. I don't give a crap because, my channel is small enough. It really doesn't matter. I'm not making any revenue with this, so I'm just doing it for fun. So that's fine. If you watch a third of a video and then you hit the dislike button, then you are actually part of the problem, right? You are the problem that I'm talking about in this video. But anyway, share your thoughts down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little something, and it would be great to get your thoughts. Guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Bye.